About it, Clipper Nation. Down 17. Offense looked terrible in the first half. The same group that struggled with Darius Garland leading them came through end of the third quarter into the start of the fourth, completely flipped this game. They're down 8 when Kawhi goes to the bench with about 3.5 minutes left in the third quarter. By the time he comes back in, the same Clippers group is up 5. They go plus 13 in about 7 minutes without Kawhi. Kawhi comes in, probably hit the biggest shot with that three-pointer, puts him away. That was the dagger. Clippers come back. Comeback clips, hashtag comeback clips. I put it out there on X. It came through. 60% of the time, it works every time. Yannik, Conan, Niederhauser, Yannik, Conan the Destroyer. That block on Horford, incredible. Garland looked good in the second half. That's what we need to see. He got comfortable. Tightening the screw against Kawhi. Still had some rusty turnovers, understandably. Still missed some shots he normally makes. The Clippers up 112-96. This game is over, ladies and gentlemen. It's over. I don't think I can go NyQuil night. I got too much energy. That is a hell of a victory. 2-0 in March. 16 games left. And this was a huge one. Chasing down Golden State in the standings. I had guys saying Coach Lue was getting out-coached in the first half. Steve Kerr's completely out-coaching him. It's like, the Clippers were turning it over. They were missing threes. They were giving up threes. They weren't getting to the free throw line. Sometimes you gotta put some accountability on the players. They weren't playing very good. They stopped turning it over. They started hitting threes. They started getting to the free throw line. Garland in that second unit, much better in the second half. In fact, there was somebody in here that was going after Coach Lue in the video I posted with Law Murray pregame. I might have to respond to this. Final 25 seconds. The Clippers got it together. They shot 62% in the second half. Yeah, second night of a back-to-back. Not easy. That's a great victory.
From behind down 17 and get a win over Golden State. 114-101 on the road on the second night of a back-to-back in the Bay Area. What a win for the Clips. Gritty, tough, impressive. And the Clippers start the month of March 2-0. Let's see who we get on the baseline on the headset. As the Clippers starting Kobe Sanders once again, excellent in his performance. Yannik Conan Niederhauser was awesome off the bench for the Clippers today. He finishes with 11 points, 9 rebounds. Chris Dunn continues to be absolutely unbelievable on both ends of the ball for the Clippers. How about 2 steals, 7 rebounds, and 7 assists to go with 16 points? Are you kidding me? Almost a triple-double for KD. I think we're going to get Yannik Conan Niederhauser. Cooper Durzanowski is heading over with Kobe Sanders. That's what we got. All right, Kobe Sanders going to hop on the headset for us. Kobe, you got us?
What up with it?
Good to hear from you again.
Yes,
Congrats
sir.
on the victory today.
Appreciate you.
Another start for you, Kobe. You seem to have really confident performances in starts. What is it about being in that starting lineup that gives you that comfort on the offensive end?
You get a flow early, so it's easy. But, just playing with the guys around me always makes it easy. And I just got to give all my credit to them and the coaches just instilling confidence and tell me to go play free. So I just go out there, try to do my best, and see where it goes from there.
You knocked down 2 big threes today. This team was down 17, Kobe. They never wavered. You guys at one point led by 17 here in the fourth quarter. What changed at halftime for this group to have such a strong second half?
It started with the halftime speech. We were told to play harder, and, we came out with a different energy. And I think we all knew we were capable of better than what the first half showed. So, we kind of just banded together and went from there.
Darius Garland makes his debut today. When you were out there with them, what was it like being on the floor with Darius?
It just opens up the floor, just having a primary ball handler that draws so much attention and able to pass with the ability he can and, make plays that he does. It just opens up the floor so much. And, we get open shots with him out there. And, it's just exciting to play with a player like that.
Oh, appreciate you, Kobe. Go enjoy this with your teammates. Yep. Congrats on the win.
Appreciate you.
Thank you. Clippers get it done on the road on the second out of a back-to-back. They take down the Warriors 114-101. Don't go anywhere. Adam Oslin's got you next. Clippers Talk is coming up on your Clippers Audio Network.
Hey, where's Quentin Cornett talking junk about Chris Dunn? Those steals and scores were some of the biggest momentum plays in this game. Chris Dunn, incredible, crashed in the passing lanes. And it sounds like they got a tongue lashing at the end of or at the half by the coaching staff. By what you just heard there from Kobe Sanders. And start with a halftime speech to play harder. They did. That's how it's done. Great response. Great comeback victory. Down 17. They had a 19-point comeback against the Pistons on the road. This time down 17 against Golden State, the team that was right in front of them and still is. But now the Clippers take on Golden State, the final game of the regular season at Intuit Dome. If they win that game, they'll have the head-to-head tiebreaker. We'll see if that comes into play. Oh, there's Quentin. Tuck your tail between your legs. I should give you a timeout immediately for calling Chris Dunn overrated. First of all, how could it be overrated? What awards has he gotten? How much love has he ever gotten? What do you think overrated means? Tree God needs to relax. Or he needs to rephrase that. Yannik was a stud. Getting to the free throw line over and over again to end that third quarter was big. I'm telling you, they ended up with 12 free throws in the third quarter after only having 6 total in the first half. It was a real issue. It's one thing to miss three-pointers like they were in the first half. It's another to also not to get to the line. Yannik, boom!
To award-winning restaurants, live comedy, music, golf, spa luxury.
Yannik Conan Niederhauser, Yannik Conan Niederhauser, Yannik Conan Niederhauser. Clippers at the house show, Turtle Power.
Don't miss it.
Yannik is not having it. He doesn't care if it's Draymond or anyone else. He is a dog.
The game is done. Wrap this one up. Now the reaction.
How about a classic hashtag comeback clips? Down 17 performance in Darius Garland's debut. They win 114-101 up at Chase Center over the Golden State Warriors. Welcome into your post-game show. I'm Adam Oslin. Coming up, we'll get to your calls, 866-987-2570. But first, back to Chase Center, back to your radio voice of the Clippers in Carlo Jimenez. Oh, this Clippers team looked like they were sleepwalking, a little bit lifeless at times in the first half. They didn't have that defensive intensity. And and you just got the scoop from Kobe Sanders. Apparently something was said at the half that got them a little extra motivated and playing harder in the second half, Carlo.
Yeah, a halftime speech that got the group fired up, ready to go in the second half. And Adam, it showed. I mean, defensively, they were excellent, holding Golden State to under 33% in that second half. Offensively, they were unbelievable, shooting over 60% in that second half. And J.R. Parquet just passed me this stat, but this was the largest deficit a Warriors opponent has overcome to get a win this season. The Warriors had not lost a game in which they had led by 17 or more. That changes tonight. The Clippers down by 17, come away with a win. And just a group that came out in the second half, Adam, it looked like they had fresh legs. It looked like they went in there. They all took ice baths. They all got massages, and they're ready to go. But impressive win by this group, because it felt like, Adam, at times, the way Golden State was playing, the way Podziemski was getting going, this was just what the Warriors' night, and the Clippers just didn't have it on the second night of a back-to-back. And they came out here and got a win. Really a culture-type victory by this group.
Yeah, the identity of this team remains intact, and there's a new guy who gets dipped into Clippers culture here in Darius Garland, and he has the right type of demeanor as well. This is somebody that struggled early on in the ball game. He had 4 turnovers as soon as he came in, Carlo, it felt like, but in the second half, he helped lead that group that made that run while Kawhi Leonard was on the bench.
Yeah, it really impressive by him, kind of emblematic of how the game went. A slow start for the Clippers, but got going in the second half, hit big shots, got the team ready to go. I mean, just really impressive by this team to find a way to get this win down the stretch. Garland looked comfortable. I thought him and Yannik played really, really well together in this game, Adam, and the Clippers were able to get it done down towards the end of the game. I just think overall, this was just an impressive one on the road in a place in which they had struggled to shoot the ball. I mean, they scored, 79 points last time they were in this building, and then you had 41 late in the first half. Didn't feel like they were going to get many points in this game. I think they finished that first half, Adam, with 43 points. So to come away with this type of victory, to get to 106, to hold the Warriors to a quiet total, or 114, I should say, to hold the Warriors to a quiet total down the stretch. I mean, just a really, really impressive, gritty type win from this Clipper team on the second night of a back-to-back. They earned themselves a day off and a chance to keep it rolling against Indiana. But look, March is a gauntlet. The Clippers got to go at least 500 if they want to keep their over 500 streak alive. 14 straight seasons. They're going to make it 15, and a great start to start 2-0. Especially, Adam, second night of a back-to-back. They'd been just 2-8 this season on the second night of a back-to-back.
You highlighted a guy who I felt like made a huge impact with just big momentum swings, and that was Chris Dunn, with multiple steals and scores pretty close to one another. That was saying, hey, we're reestablishing our defense right now. I'm that guy they look to for that consistency, and he brought it.
Yeah, he brought it. He brought it on both ends of the floor, was excellent defensively and offensively. I think for the most part, Adam, the Clippers were able to get back in this game because Chris Dunn played with that incredible energy on the floor, and he was able to get stops, get out and get steals, jump passing lanes, knock down big shots in the lane. I mean, you brought it up, but it felt like, Clippers were down 17. Oh, this is running away with them. Who gets two big buckets in a row? Chris Dunn cuts the lead back to 13 points. The Clippers are finally able to roll back and get an opportunity to win this game. But super impressive by this Clipper team. Always great to see them come away with a victory. And I think going forward, Adam, great to see Noah Eagle on the call and in the building as the Clippers get another win. Shout out Noah. Big W today for the Clips with Brian, Noah, and me in the building. I'll take it. Can't
wait to see Noah Eagle back it into it soon here. Carlo Jimenez, though, we got to reconnect. Clippers taking on Wednesday. Oh, beloved Clipper. I can't wait for the tribute video. It will be Big Zoo of Eats the Zoobots back it into a dome with the Indiana Pacers. Tip-off Wednesday at the Dome. The Dome is home, 7:30. We'll have your pregame show starting at 6:30. Great call, Carlo. See you on Wednesday.
Adam, enjoy your day off. Don't enjoy it too much because I'll see you on Wednesday. Talk to you soon, my brother.
Yes, sir. Clippers.
Let's go.
Come back. Down 17 to win 114-101. Up in San Francisco at Chase Center over the Golden State Warriors. More postgame coming up next right here on the Los Angeles Clippers Audio Network. How about it?
You gotta have the trouble.
That's a great victory.
Yeah, always good to take care.
That's a great vibes victory. That's a feel-good win for this team. Zoo versus Yannik. It's going to be on.
For value all around, we got Camry and Corolla.
All right, I've got
There was a guy, I may have to retweet him now. I follow out of May. He said he tweeted at me when the Clippers were down 17, and he gave me a final score of the game prediction. And he said final Clippers 83, Warriors 121. You know I'm the receipt master. I had to give him a retweet at follow out of May saying nah.
All right. So I've got Kawhi third and Jordan Miller fourth.
Got you. Yannick definitely has some nastiness to him. We have seen it time and time again. He will mix it up. He's not afraid. And he was chirping with Draymond Green at the free throw line.
I must know your secret. No secret. It's hair bubble from New Nordic.
Garland, bad first stint. Very rusty. Great second stint.
It is gorgeous.
They don't win the game without him and the second unit after being down 8 when Kawhi leaves the game at about 3.5 minutes left in the third quarter. Kawhi comes back around the 10-minute mark of the fourth, and all of a sudden, they're up 5. They went plus 13 there.
124 times.
All right, hang tight.
You don't really have to pay attention until the past 2.
Let me put Speedster in timeout.
We'll take
I ain't here for that Lakers energy right now.
Luckily, you can chat with Progressive online or over the phone without missing a single one of those times the ball is through the middle circle.
Eat that sweet.
Casualty insurance from key affiliates and other insurers, not available in all states or situations.
No credit to the Clippers, says Mr. Goat. Can you guys get him for me? We got to shut it down.
Exclusively on the LA.
Make it 2-0 in March. 16 games to go. Clippers come back down 17 and win 114-101 over the Golden State Warriors at Chase Center. Welcome into your postgame show. I'm Adam Moslin. 866-987-2570 is the phone number if you'd like to get on. We got Clippers talk coming up in just a little bit here. But right now, we got some second half highlights for you. Remember, that number 17, Clippers trailing big in the first half. And it was really the backups who exited the game, or entered the game, I should say, when Kawhi exited around the 3.5-minute mark of the first quarter. And they got ambushed. And they were down 31-19 heading into the second. Darius Garland, turnover after turnover. He looked very rusty out there. And Mathurin was out there, and Yannik was out there, and they looked completely discombobulated. Well, that would change later on as the Clippers were still down 56-42 heading into the half. But then this Clippers team started to make that run in the third quarter, and Kawhi got them pointing back in the right direction.
Gives it up to Dunn. Back to Leonard. Jabs left. Moves right. Into traffic. Floats. The right elbow jumper is in. Kawhi Leonard with the bucket. He's in double figures with 10, leading the Clippers straight away. Dribbling with the right hand. Takes it into the paint. Finds Kawhi Leonard. Takes 2 steps to the rim on the left block. He puts it off the window for 2. Leonard's got it on the baseline. Holds the ball above the head. 5 to shoot. Spins into a double team. 4 to shoot. Fades. Fires off the front rim. Off the top of the backboard. And it trickles in. What a shot from Kawhi.
Kawhi with 8 points in the third quarter, but it was still an 8-point game at 73-65 when he exited at the 3:20 mark. And the Clippers said, that's all right. This second unit with Darius Garland, we're going to figure things out this time. Garland hits a big 3-pointer. Chris Dunn gets into action. And they take it down to a 2-point lead heading into the fourth quarter. And from there, pedal to metal, BTA, and Jordan Miller was fantastic again in closing minutes.
Clippers running. Here comes Miller into traffic. Stops left elbow. Floater with a left hand. Yes, sir. The Clippers with their biggest lead. Miller at the free throw line. Dribbling with the right hand. Steps back. Steps through on the left block. The layup from his waist. He twists it in off the window in the left corner. 8 to shoot. The Clippers with it. Mathurin at the logo. Clippers up by 6, just above 6 to play in the ball game. Mathurin, Euro steps, throws up a wild reverse layup, misses it all. Putback is up and in. Jordan Miller taps it in for 2. Jordan Miller right down Main Street, packs it with the left hand, and a timeout, Golden State. We'll keep it here, 2:51 to play. How about them Clippers?
A 17-point comeback with Jordan Miller having 8 points in that fourth quarter, and the Clippers go on to win 114-101 up at Chase Center over the Golden State Warriors, who are just ahead of them in the standings still. But now the Clippers have a 2-1 season series advantage with 1 game to go back at Intuit Dome, the final game of the regular season. Just like last year, they had to go up to Chase Center and play them up there in game 82. So a game of consequence, and the Clippers showed up in the second half, shooting 62% from the floor after a very slow shooting start and defensive effort in the first half of this one. Clippers victorious over the Golden State Warriors. Quick timeout. We'll come back. We'll get to your phone calls and more. I'm Adam Osland, and you're listening to the Los Angeles Clippers Audio Network. Let's go.
And if you're in the market for a truck, now is the best time.
Garland can create for himself, and that three-pointer he hit with the high ball screen from Yannik, and then that Yannik did the same thing for Kawhi on a big three-pointer that I thought was the dagger in the fourth. Chris Dunn was incredible. What fool would say he's overrated? Who could say such a thing? That's all right. We love Quentin. He's the same guy that used to say all Ivica Zubac does is dunk the ball. He's not skilled, when Ivica Zubac led the league in hook shots last season.
There's only one FDA approved Ozempic made by Health Force.
Forget the A seed. They're going for the 7 seed. Get that home play-in game in the 7-8 matchup. I've been telling you for a month. That's the goal.
Here's Ty Lue on. Want to hear any of it?
We'll see what pops up after.
Watching from the couch is fine, but the real that's in the arena. And when you've got to be there to catch all the sight, sounds, and styles.
Houston round 1 would be real nice, but I don't think they're going to end up the 2 seed is the problem. The Spurs actually still have a chance to get the number 1 seed. I don't think it's going to happen because SGA is healthy again. But the Spurs, I mean, their winning streak just ended yesterday against New York. Yes, I've been saying Houston or the Spurs for like 2 months. Where y'all been?
So throw on your jersey, grab your crew, and lock in your tickets at Ticketmaster.
Good luck in the 6 seed. They're still, 7.5 games back? It's going to be hard. It's going to be near impossible.
Grab them before they're gone. Ticketmaster.com/Clippers. And we'll see.
Quentin wants a pass because he's a senior Clippers fan. I don't know, Quentin. That might mean you should know better.
This is the Los Angeles Clippers.
Clippers down 17. No panic. They come back to win by 13. A 30-point turnaround as they win up at Chase Center over the Golden State Warriors, 114-101, second night of a back-to-back, and they start off March 2-0. I'm Adam Osland. Welcome back into your post-game show. Kawhi Leonard finished with 23 points, the 38th straight game he's had at least 20. Chris Dunn, 16, 7 assists, 2 steals. Both those steals he took the other way for big buckets, huge momentum swing plays where he was crashing passing lanes. Chris Dunn is an absolute menace. They don't win this game without him, and he was still starting. Darius Garland coming off the bench, finished with 12 in 23 minutes. Struggled his first stint, was much more comfortable his second stint. The best is still yet to come, but that big three-pointer he hit in the second half was huge for this team. He ended up with those 12 points, a couple of assists out there, 2 of 7 from the outside, 4 of 9 from the field overall. But I can get used to seeing him in orange. Maybe that's why he was rusty. He was wearing the color of rust out there. No, he hadn't played since January 14th. It was assumed he would, take his time to find his rhythm. Hopefully a day off tomorrow, back it into a dome in front of the home crowd. They already got some chants for him. They'll be chanting DG there. And that is a shooter's gym, as we have seen, at least for the Clippers, not for the opponent when they're at the free throw line going up against the wall. So very exciting victory in Darius Garland's debut, 114-101. Clippers come back down 17. You may say they should have never been down 17. Okay, that's fair. But nice to know they have that extra gear when they need it. They've had 17-point comeback, a 16-point comeback, and a 19-point comeback, I believe, this season. This one, though, considering you're integrating a new player who's going to be playing a pretty big role for this team in Darius Garland, and you found a way to pull through in the second half. Special win for the Clippers, one of the best of the season. 114-101, the final outside of Los Angeles. We're leaving you until Wednesday night. Clippers taking on Ivica Zubats and the Indiana Pacers. 7:30 tip, your pregame at 6:30 in LA and on the YouTube side at Clippers Talk. Don't go anywhere. We'll get your phone calls coming up next. Go! Let's go!
Oh yeah, your post-game look at the LA Clippers.
Do you not get excited with this?
Don't miss a moment of this basketball.
No one's arguing Yannik needs more experience. Can we just enjoy how good he's been as a rookie?
Make us a preset by searching.
He was awesome. Closing out the fourth again. All right, some of y'all gave Coach Lou some grief because he closed out the fourth quarter, in the game against Orlando? And I thought he was pretty good then, too. Stuck with Yannik. Paid off. That block on Al Horford. Nasty. Nasty. Put it up, DG. Hey, Benedict Mathurin, my player to watch. 17 points, 6 of 13. Nice plays out there. I like his rebounding a lot, guys. 7 boards. He had some big plays in the second half. Did have 4 turnovers. Clippers, after, what did they have in the first half? 9 turnovers? They finished with just 14. They had, 9 turnovers leading to 14 points in the first half. They cut that down to 5 turnovers in the second half. And some of it was Golden State. They couldn't stay that hot from the outside. They still hit threes on volume with 17 makes, but they were only at 35%. Clippers were only 9 of 31. But they ended up taking 17 of their 23 free throws in the second half. We were stressing it. I brought it up in the second quarter. If you're not hitting threes, you better at least get to the free throw line. They weren't being aggressive enough because that's what has saved them at times. They get outshot from 3. It doesn't matter because they ended up taking 6 more free throws. They ended up turning over Golden State 14 times, and that led to 23 points for the Clippers. So they both have 14 turnovers, but look at the difference here. The Clippers' 14 turnovers turned into 15 points for Golden State. Golden State's 14 turnovers turned into 23 points for the Clippers. They got out in transition. Those Dunn steals, though, God bless Chris Dunn. Clippers also got 52 points off the bench.
Wow.
Show of the Clippers.
That's a lot.
Welcome to the Clippers, Darius Garland. Comeback Clips. That's who they are. They were down 17. They come back to win in this one. 114-101 up north on the second day of a back-to-back over the Golden State Warriors. Welcome into Clippers Talk. I'm Adam Moslin with you for the next half hour here. And we'll get to your phone calls, 866-987-2570. But first, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification here on AM 570 LS Sports. Let's talk about it. The backups struggled in the first half and won them the game in the second half, and that includes Darius Garland, who came in off the bench. Coach Lou said pregame, I want to get this right because it made sense, but the quote, I saw Tomera Zarley had it. The reason they were bringing him off the bench is so he doesn't play with Kawhi Leonard right away and can find his own rhythm, his own timing, and they can run everything through him. Makes sense. His rhythm, though, after not playing for a month and a half, it was a little bit off, you could say. He had 4 turnovers right away out there. His first play with the Clippers was a turnover. He had back-to-back turnovers. But I want to highlight and underscore the difference in the game. And it's really this. I mentioned the backups being the reason they got down big, but they were also the reason they got back into it and won. Tale of two halves. Overall, the Clippers were much better defensively in the second half. That led to some easy offense too. But when Kawhi Leonard went out of the ball game in the first half, they were down by 1 at 16-15, I should say, in the first quarter. The backups come in. Darius Garland's one of them. And after being down by just 1, when Kawhi left, by the end of the first quarter, as they were completely, I would say, discombobulated out there, to be kind, to be gracious, to be charitable, they were a mess. They were a mess out there at first. And Darius Garland, understandably, he hasn't played in a month and a half. But you go from Kawhi goes to the bench and you're down 1 to being down 12 heading into the second quarter at 31-19. That same crew started the second quarter for the most part. They were still out there. Coach Lue gave them extended run. And then even when Kawhi Leonard came into the ball game, it didn't matter. He came in, they were down 13. They got up 17 after a Pods three-pointer. He hit a lot of them at 44-27 at the 7:38 mark of the second quarter. Clippers' largest deficit, down 17. The third quarter, I don't know if it started great. I got to be honest about that. It took some time for them to figure things out. The third quarter with the Clippers in this one, man, I'm all over here with my notes. It started off with a bucket immediately. I think it was Al Horford for Golden State. He had the and one, missed the free throw. And they would miss from some free throws. And the Clippers are down 58-42 early. When the game flipped, first of all, the Clippers defense was much better. I thought there were some effort plays out there, like Derrick Jones Jr. missing a three, but Kobe Sanders bats it to Dunn, back to Kobe Sanders for a big three-pointer. That got it down to a 10-point lead in the third quarter. Those little plays like that. It was the offensive rebounds by the Golden State Warriors that looked to be backbreakers in the first half of this game. But the Clippers were still in a battle. Mathurin gets a floater. It's a 9-point game. Warriors get a bucket, 70-59. They're back up by 11. Now the Clippers are starting to get something going. And Coach Lue put in an interesting, pretty much all offense lineup. Now there's still some defenders in there. And it was only out there for a small amount of time before Kawhi Leonard left the game in the third quarter. But he had Benedict Mathurin, Darius Garland, Kobe Sanders, Kawhi, and Brook Lopez out there. They got it to 71-59. And Garland had a really nice putback, hustle plays, little things they weren't doing in the first half, off of a lob that he missed Kawhi Leonard on. He put it back in on the left side. He also had a nasty, and I mean nasty, shake and bake, showing off the Kyrie Irving-like handle on Santos, if you caught that, in the third quarter by Darius Garland. But remember, his first points were at the free throw line in the first half. His first bucket was a three-pointer. But in that third quarter, Kawhi Leonard ends up going out around the 3:40 mark. And I'll give you the exact time. It was an 8-point lead still. The Clippers had made a dent. They had made a difference. They were starting to turn the tide back in their favor there. But they still weren't close to getting over the hump, because every time it felt like they got close, Golden State would hit a timely three-pointer. Baginski, I should say, Pods, Al Horford, some really big shots. But Kawhi Leonard goes out, and it's 73-65 at the 3:20 mark of the third quarter. And I thought this was the difference in the ball game. Yannik gets a block on Melton that ends up in a shot clock violation, and then sets a high ball screen for Darius Garland for a big three-pointer. 8-point game, down to 5. Very next possession, done. Steal and dunk. It is a 3-point game. Timeout Golden State. They're starting to miss now. They're a little bit rattled out there. They were up by 17, and it's down to 3 just like that. Well, before the third quarter was over, as Yannik tried to dunk on Santos, where he was fouled, every game he is going for the kill. I love that about him, not just because it shows his aggressiveness, but it's a smart play. You're likely to get fouled if you go for these crazy dunks that should put him in the dunk contest next season. But he's also a good free throw shooter. He has great form. So he hit both. Paz did get an and one on the other end on Yannik right after that. But then Yannik gets back to the line again, just being aggressive out there. And again, that's one way to chip away at a lead. And there was another great feed from Jordan Miller to Yannik underneath where he had to be fouled at the free throw line. I think it was done to Miller to Yannik. Really great interior passing or from exterior to interior there by the Clippers. They got Yannik some more free throws to end that third quarter. So it's not pretty, it's not sexy, but getting to the charity stripe can win you ball games. And after Kawhi left the game, they were down by 8 in the third. Now they're only down by 2 heading into the fourth. It's 79-77. And Coach Lue is rolling with this crew. Dunn's out there. Yannik, Darius Garland, Jordan Miller. Dunn hits a 3 to start the fourth quarter. Clippers take the lead by 1. Of course, Quentin Post responds with a three-pointer right after that. Golden State back up by 2. Garland gets to his float game. Now it's a tie game. Out of the timeout, I think, Chris Dunn steal and score. Clippers up 2. Now Jordan Miller's getting to his floater. Clippers up by 4. Golden State's teetering. Spencer misses a 3. Mathurin gets a floater off the glass. Clippers are up by 6. It's an 11-3 run. Now the timeout gets called. Out of it, Pods misses a 3. They did get us another steal on Darius Garland. Back to a 5-point game. And then there was a back-to-back turnover where Ben was looking for Yannik after Garland had the turnover. Some miscommunication there. But Yannik stole it back on the other end. So Kawhi comes back in at the 8:45 mark of the fourth quarter. The Clippers, during about a 7-minute stretch without Kawhi Leonard, from, again, the end of the third quarter at the 3:22 mark, the 3:20 mark to be exact, to the 8:45 mark of the fourth quarter, they went plus 13. They went from being down 8 when Kawhi went to the bench to when he came back in the fourth to being up by 5. Incredible work by the second unit that got blitzed and ambushed to start the game, which really put the Clippers in a bad position. Remember, first quarter, Kawhi goes out. They're down by 1. They're down by 12 by the end of the first quarter. So the same backups that gave up the lead took it back and then some. Now, Spencer Wood hit a 3-pointer. It's a 2-point game. The Clippers aren't out of the woods by any stretch of the imagination, but Jordan Miller hit a ridiculous layup with the footwork and the deceleration going left from his waist. He got that little flip underhand layup to go. Jordan Miller going left is a bucket. Clippers back up by 4. Yannik, huge block on Al Horford. Benedict Mathurin gets the and one with his own scoop layup going left. Converts it. Clippers are starting to create some distance now. Yannick's talking, by the way, while Benedict Mathurin's at the free throw line with Draymond, who looked to have a lane violation. Yannick's game. He's ready. He may be a rookie, but he's got a mean streak in him. 93-86 after Benedict hits the free throw. Now a Kawhi steal. DJ layup because it was a goaltend. Clippers up by 9. Al Horford, 3-pointer. Clippers call a timeout, and out of that timeout, the sense of urgency from Coach Lue after Jordan Miller, they just called a timeout, got doubled, trapped, had nowhere to go. Coach Lue said timeout again. That's the sense of urgency you need in a game like this against Golden State when you come into it and they're 2.5 games up on you. And you know, standings-wise, this is a huge, huge game. Out of the second timeout, Mathurin misses a wild reverse layup, and Jordan Miller somehow taps it in. Clippers up by 8. Kawhi 3-pointer. They're up by 11. Kawhi stepped through a layup with the left hand. Now they're up by 13 at the 6-minute mark. And that was about all she wrote. Clippers win 114-101 over the Golden State Warriors. Quick timeout. We'll get to your phone calls next. I'm Adam Osland, and this is Clippers Talk here on AM 570 LA Sports. What a victory.
Find pre-owned truck.
17-point comeback in Darius Garland's first game. He's on a minutes restriction. He's coming off the bench. He doesn't play the last 8 minutes of the ball game. I'll take that all day.
Backboard and a multi-point inspection, even a Carfax report, so there are no surprises or peace of mind.
Where's everybody in here that used to tell me, no, they should have drafted Cockbrenner instead of Conan? Where are all those people? Daniel West remembers.
Oh, yeah.
I remember. No, they should have drafted Cockbrenner. If you can't see the difference in ceiling, I told you this then, when everybody was complaining. You're seeing it now.
Tickets available to every game, even if you're making a last-minute decision.
All I know is when Adam says BTA, it was a good night. I ain't going back. You can't go back. The Zubac trade was made. We got to move forward.
So throw on your jersey, grab your crew, and lock in your tickets at Ticketmaster today, because nothing beats.
Oh, Shark's admitting he said they should have went with Cockbrenner. Okay, I see you.
Grab them or they're gone. Ticketmaster.com/Clippers.
I don't know if I can go to In-N-Out tonight. I've eaten enough today. I mean, I could, but I shouldn't.
Casino's annual wine festival and chocolate decadence on Saturday, March.
Chemo still doesn't understand the bobblehead thing. That's okay.
Hundreds of wine varieties.
I deserve In-N-Out burger. You guys are pushers. Trying to get me fat. Hey, I'm fat and happy all right now. This Clippers win. Loved it.
This is the Los Angeles Clippers. Heard exclusively on the LA Clippers.
Hashtag comeback clips. They were down 17. They win by 13. A 30-point turnaround up at Chase Center over the Golden State Warriors. Final score, Clippers 114, Golden State 101. Welcome back into Clippers Talk. If you want to get on, 866-987-2570, 866-987-2570. What are the early returns for you with Darius Garland in his first game as a Clipper? Armin calling from Huntington Beach. Armin, what's up? You're on Clippers Talk with Adam Osland.
Hey, Adam. Thank you for having me. I want to just first off say what a great win. In the first half, when they did put Darius Garland in, you could just see an immediate fall off on production. I think he started the game with 3 turnovers, and then it just kept getting worse and worse throughout the first half. I think the best play he made was that dive for the ball with Moses Moody.
Oh, and he took that hit to the right eye. That's a good call, showing the hustle. His defense, by the way, his defense was solid. His defense was very solid.
Yes, but when he accidentally injured Moses Moody, because Moses Moody was killing us offensively, and when he hurt that shoulder, then you could tell that Moses Moody wasn't himself anymore, and that helped the Clippers get back in the second half. And and then you could see Garland kind of figure it out after that. But other than that, in the first half, you could tell that everyone was just looking for Kawhi, but Kawhi was being double, triple, smothered, no look to the basket, nothing. So Garland was also dribbling the ball too much, not passing it off. There was no movement, no nothing. But I'm glad whatever happened in the locker room after the half, things just noticeably changed.
Yes, they did. We heard from Kobe Sanders. who may have, I'll put it likely that they were told to play harder. You know, it may have been a harsher message than that. I'm not saying anybody's Bobby Knight with this Clippers team, but if it was Jeff Van Gundy, he can let him fly a little bit. We know that. I don't know who said it or who the messenger was, but it worked. Message received.
Oh yeah, and I think the ball movement is very important. Especially, I think Garland should have probably played against the next game in the Jazz, because I know how important this game was, because it affects the playoff.
What game against the Jazz? They're playing in Indiana on
This,
Wednesday.
oh, my bad. Yes, Indiana, a team that's basically just another team that's tanking. So I think that would have probably been better, but it worked out at the end, and I'm glad I put some money on the Clippers when they were down 12, because the payoff was nice afterwards.
Did you see my hashtag comeback clips tweet? Was that your motivation?
No, I didn't, but I had a feeling, because every game I've noticed the Clippers have been trying their hardest to win. I can't say that about other teams as much, but when I do watch the Clippers, you can tell, like, especially with Kawhi, he wants to win every game.
Effort is rarely an issue with this team. That's why it was a little bit shocking to start off the season defensively from them, because they weren't in the right place. But since they were 6-21, they're now 23-10 since then. Remember when everybody laughed at Coach Lou when he said we want to go 35-20 the rest of the way after they started 6-21? Well, since then, they're 23-10. And nobody laughing now. Jamil Pasadena. Jamil in Pasadena, what's up? You're on Clipper Stock with Adam Moslem.
Hey, Adam, man. God bless, brother. Thank you for having me, as always. Just real quick, it was a good team win. I agree with you on the Darius Garland thing. It's going to take him some time to acclimate himself, not just to the Clippers, but just to the game. He hasn't played in a long time. You know, it's a rhythm sport, so he has to get back in rhythm. But he looks smooth, as a professional should. He came back and regressed back to the medium. You know, to the mean. His jumper was falling. He made the right reads when he could. It was kind of a mucky game a little bit, you know, with things not going the way, like we said, the last two games. They look kind of weird on the defensive end, so they kind of made it kind of hard for us on the offensive end. It's like we're pressing a little bit. But besides that, I love the energy Yannik brings. I love the fact that Chris Dunn and Derrick Jones still sticking with it, even though things aren't working out in their way, the way they wanted to work out. And Benedict is the same. And like you said, I agree with you. Defensively, Darius Garland looked really good. So I don't know what it is with Jeff Van Gundy, what he's saying to these guys, but it's working and it's resonating with guys.
Well, Darius is not a bad defender. That was never an issue. Yeah. He's undersized, but his principles there, his instincts are good. Like, they ran a play in the second half where they got him on a switch with Al Horford and he had to foul him. And that was intentional because Darius Garland's, he's small. He's on the smaller side. He's 6'1". Okay. Teams will do that here and there, but he's not out of position. The effort's good. It's not Trae Young. He's not a small guy who gives bad effort at all.
I agree with you on that. And along with that goes with Benedict Mathurin as well, because I know that I never felt that he was a bad defender, but as you just said, he has the intangibles as well. He's the size, the length, you know, the speed, the strength to play decent defense. So I think with them two, once they fall in line, things are looking on the upside. And I like how Yannik is being trusted in the clutch minutes and at the end of the game to close out. His hustle is immaculate. His rim protection is immaculate. Once he gets his touch around the rim on the offensive end, unfortunately, I hate to say it, but I think he's gonna have a little higher ceiling than Zubac, even though I miss him every day. Still, I'm not really worried about the transition, you know.
All right, we'll see here, Jamil. The potential is big with Yannik because of his outside shooting, because of his athleticism, because of his handle. I said it in Summer League, the game against the Lakers, which might have been his first game in Summer League. He took it on a steal from half court to the rim and dunked it. And I said, what is this? But he's one of those guys that had a late growth spurt. So he used to be a guy who dribbled a lot like a guard, and that's where it comes from. Type of thing that you saw with Anthony Davis. I'm
Yeah,
not saying
Davis.
I'm not saying he's going to be Anthony Davis. I'm not saying he's going to be Giannis Antetokounmpo or any of this
Nah.
stuff. But I am saying special player
Comparable.
potential. He has potential. All right, Jamil.
Exactly,
Appreciate
and
it.
I agree with you. All right, Adam. God bless, brother.
All right, appreciate the phone call. Bill, Mission Viejo. What's up? You're on Clippers Talk with Adam Awesome. What's up, Bill?
Hey, thanks for taking my call. What's the latest with Collins? Is he going to be okay? Because I know it said it was his neck or it was his arm last night. How is he doing?
Neck soreness. He was out tonight. We'll see. I don't know if you know how these things go with injury reports and everything in the NBA, but they're not exactly going to give the most defined timeline of when he's coming back. Hopefully he's back on Wednesday.
Okay, well, thank you.
All right, Bill. Appreciate the phone call. That's it. All right. 866-987-2570, 866-987-2570. It's concerning with John Collins because it seems to be the same injury now that he's been dealing with ever since that fall against the Lakers, and then was attacking the basket, made a nice pass, and ran into Derek Queen last night where he got hurt and looked like a shoulder stinger, but maybe it went up through the neck and he aggravated that too. Either way, Clippers were able to get by without him tonight, but they will need him eventually. Obviously, John Collins has been huge for this team's turnaround. Clippers win 114-101 after they were down by 17 up at Chase Center against the Golden State Warriors. I'm Adam Oslin. More Clippers talk coming up next here on AM 570 LA Sports. The Pacers definitely are a team that obviously has an incentive to tank. How do we know that? Because to hold on to their pick and not give it to the Clippers, they need to finish top 4. If it's 5 through 9, it goes to the Clippers. So Wednesday's going to be interesting. You almost want to lose to them, but you don't. You don't want to lose to anybody. You want them to start beating other teams. You do root for them to win, but not Wednesday. Clippers got to get to that 7th spot. They got work to do. This was a great step in that direction.
182-point inspection and is reconditioned like new by factory-trained technicians with genuine parts.
Look at this Thomas guy who yesterday I took this tweet of him. He was talking all this trash about Darius Garland. He said, DG shooting won't be good. He hasn't played for months. He's going to jack up bricks. I say it's going to take 30 games to shoot. That's this guy, Thomas. This guy on the screen, I screenshot it yesterday. You know I'm here for it. And now he's like, we have a young guard CP3 with young Garland.
Oh.
Wow, it took one game for Thomas to turn things around. I didn't know Thomas the Train could just take the other tracks there. Huh. That's all right, Thomas. Ugh. It's good to be a believer in Darius Garland that quickly. If you get Phoenix in the 7-8, that's not the worst situation.
Being able to say you were there. Get tickets at Ticketmaster.com/Clippers. Grab them before they're gone. Ticketmaster.com/Clippers. And we'll see you courtside, LA.
Jordan Miller is a baller. I didn't want to have to go back to that receipt life. But the Clippers were down 17. People are counting them out, and they came back to win 114-101 up at Chase Center over the Golden State Warriors. Wild card line from the 442. What's up? You're on Clippers Talk. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Yes, sir.
Hi, this is Chris.
Chris, where are you calling from?
I'm calling from San Diego.
Hi, Chris. What did you think of the game?
Hi. I thought it was a great win because the Clippers were down in the first half big, and that pessimistic guy was killing us. He had like 20 points.
Which guy?
And the pessimistic, I can't pronounce his name very well.
Pajinski. Pods.
Yeah, Pajinski. He had 20 points the first half, and he was killing us. And then in the second half, I don't think he had that many points.
No, he did not. An astute observation
Yeah,
by you, Chris. Anything
yeah,
else?
it was a great turnaround. It was a great turnaround, and we didn't have John Collins, and I think that hurt us. But we had great resolve, and we came together as a team. And DG he had a lot of turnovers, but his defense was really good. And I don't understand like what a lot of Cleveland fans were saying about his defense is bad, because his defense is actually really good.
No, most of them say it's not that he's a bad defender, it's that he's limited in some ways and can be a liability at times when teams relentlessly try to pick at him because he's undersized. That's his only issue, but it's not an effort thing. He doesn't get lost off ball. He's engaged defensively. He's solid. He's strong. But there will be times where you're going to have to cover for him because teams are going to go right at him. But he'll take up the challenge too, and I like what I saw from Darius Garland defensively. Quick timeout. We'll come back. We'll close things out. Clippers were down by 17. They win 114-101 up in Golden State over the Warriors. I'm Adam Osland, and this is Clippers Talk here on AM 570 LA Sports. Yes, pods.
Hey, Clipper Talk. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
That's for me. Work, family, everything.
Thomas got
San Mateo?
BTA. I mean, you can't pull that stuff
right,
here
hey,
on
Ted.
Clipper Stock. I got a long memory. People come in here as haters.
Find your perfect match today. We make it easy. Toyota.
Stay on that side. No, I'm glad you went from Saul to Paul. You saw the light in 20 minutes from Darius Garland. Now he's CP3. Yesterday, it's going to take him 30 games, which they don't even have unless you're counting playoffs left in the season. Today, we got our CP3.
What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Website for details.
Sure.
Yannick's got a great shooting form.
With the center stage front camera, everyone fits in the shot.
Not usually the road games, unfortunately.
Now you can switch to T-Mobile in just 15 minutes.
Focus, people, nail your pose.
Yeah.
New iPhone 17 on them. No way. Yes, way.
That's a good point, Fish.
Some of them, yeah.
iPhone 17 on us. Right there.
So you want to get on or not?
Should be this Saturday, I think.
What?
We're taking a
Who's calling in,
Park at the
Dale?
mall, yep.
Who is this? Andrew?
All right, got it. Take care, man.
That's it?
All right, bye.
He's not coming on?
No, I don't think. Did you want to go on, Andrew, or just wanted some questions?
Yeah, remember Y2K?
Oh, because it came up on the
He
screen
gone.
before.
Y2K was as big of a doomer
guys,
as
did you
people
wanna go
were
on or
during
no?
Y2K, and it ended up being nothing. The computer glitch in the 2000s.
Okay. Where are you calling from?
Los Angeles Clippers.
The Clippers were down 17, and Darius Garland got baptized into Clippers culture with a classic comeback Clips performance. They were down 17. They go on to win 114-101 over Golden State at Chase Center. Andrew's calling in from San Francisco. Is this a sad Warriors fan? Andrew, are you okay? What's up?
No, to be honest with you. So the thing is, I'm not from the Bay Area, and I was born in the Midwest, and I absolutely hate the Warriors.
Okay. Well, are the Clippers your team or what?
The Clippers are my team.
Let's
And
go!
I was the guy that was like commenting on YouTube the other day about, are you going to be in for Ben Aller last time?
Oh, yeah. We filled in for Ben a few different times.
Yeah. So
But Ben's a hard
yeah,
worker.
you know
He
what?
doesn't take many days off.
Yeah, but you know what? This is the best game of the year today that I went to.
Hell yeah.
And I was wearing my Kawhi jersey.
Let's go, Andrew.
Yeah. Next time I hope you can go on the road. And so I wanted to meet you and stuff, because I already met Ben 1 year, and then I never met you before. That's why.
Would love to meet you, Andrew. Hopefully it happens at some point. All right, my friend. I appreciate you calling in tonight.
Okay. You too.
All right, be good. Ray and San Mateo to close things out. Ray, what's up?
Hey, Adam, it's Ray, formerly from Redondo Beach, literally on our second week living in San Mateo, and we went to the game at Chase Center tonight, and what a beauty, baby.
Oh, they put
Yes,
on a
sir.
show for
I even
they put
ran
on a
into
show
Carlo
for you.
Jimenez.
Oh, let's go.
Yeah.
The other
Yeah, I
young
ran into Carlo,
Did you
and he
see
was
Carl? Did you see
fist
Noah
bump
Eagle
me.
too? Did you get both young goats?
Oh, I didn't. He was talking to two people, but I was just focused on Carlo, the current GOAT. So, yeah, shout out Noah.
You
did not even think about that.
You could have three-peated. You had Noah, Carlo, and Brian Seaman in the same place at the same time. Not bad.
Man.
Broadcasting
Oh,
royalty.
man, I'm happy with LA's performance. It was great. My wife came up with like 8 different nicknames for Benedict Mathurin. We had a great
Give
time.
me a couple. Give me a
and
couple.
Crypto Bros were crying.
Give me a couple.
We had who was it?
Eggs Benedict Cumberbatch.
Benny and the Jets.
All right,
There were a few.
how do you feel about mine? I've been calling him the mathlete. What do you think about
I
that?
love that one.
All right.
I'm a big fan.
That works.
Yeah.
You know, if they have any, because they have Intuit Dome, not many early afternoon matinee starts for the Egg Benedict like we used to have back at Crypto with all those early games, but I still like it. That's a good call.
I mean, the way he hits, on the backboard, he's definitely an athlete. Those angles, that's trigonometry. That's, that's some theory
That's
right
what
there.
I'm saying. Bring out the protractor. Let's go. Ray, appreciate the phone
Yeah.
call. Go Clippers, all right?
All right, guys.
Clippers win after being down 17 up at Chase Center. Clippers fans traveling well. 114-101 was the final. Clippers over the Golden State Warriors. Before we get out of here, I do want to thank the Clippers organization, Ralph Lawler, Brian Seaman, Noah Eagle, Carlo Jimenez on the call, Daniel West, our producer back here in Burbank, the callers, the listeners, the chatters, the haters, whoever you are. Clippers, they are now a game and a half back of the Golden State Warriors. They're in the 8th spot. Clippers currently in the 9th spot. Still 5 games back of the Phoenix Suns, who are in that 7th spot that everybody wants. You get that? You get a home play-in game. Clippers taking on Ivica Zubats and the Pacers on Wednesday. Back it into a dome. Tip off at 7:30. Your pregame show back here at 6:30. I'm Adam Moslem. We will talk to you then.